Check, 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 check. No, that's the USB cable.
Check, check, check. Okay. Check, check. It's a bit quiet. Maybe if I could... Check, 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 check. Check, check. Check, check. It's capturing noises. Be so complicated. I can't really capture it without canceling out some other noises. My microphone wire's still not here. It's not even shipped. It says arriving today. Ah. I'm hearing double of myself. Although maybe that's just my speakers rather than my microphone. Check, 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 check. Check. Check, 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 check. 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 I don't know where to look. How do I check for this echo? It's as if it's capturing what's coming out of here. Here, let me try this. If it's quiet, can it still capture it? If it's quiet on the speakers, can it still capture it? Check, check, check. Ooh. It's a bit loud. Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. I'm gonna check the audio over on this computer. Let me check how this sounds. I will say it's passable. It's passable enough. As long as I'm without a microphone, this is passable enough. Okay. Hopefully this is the one time, and I don't have to do this too often anymore. Because soon the microphone wire is going to come in and I will be set. Okay, let's go. It's gonna be probably noises. Oh, hold on. I actually gotta place my character in a good position. Oh, Let's actually grab it. No, I'll grab it later. Actually, you know what? Do one of these. And grab it. Okay, let's teleport back here. And set this up so I can start reading. Oh. Okay. This should be good. Slightly turn down the music. So it only... Make sure that it's only like slightly there. Make sure the microphone is still working fine. Here, I'll double check on this computer. Make sure the microphone is still working fine. Here, I'll double check on this computer. Make sure the mic... Okay, I think it's fine. Okay, now time to read. First Samuel, chapter 11. Then Nahash and Ammonite came up and encamped against Jabesh Gilead. And all the men of Jabesh said unto Nahash, Make a covenant with us, and we will serve thee. And Nahash the Ammonite answered them, On this condition will I make a covenant with you, that I may thrust out all your right eyes, and lay it for a reproach upon all Israel. And the elders of Jabesh said unto him, Give us 7 days respite, that we may send messengers unto all the coasts of Israel. And then if there be no man to save us, we will come out to thee. Then come to the messengers to Gibeah and of Saul, and told the tidings in the ears of the people. And all the people lifted up their voices and wept. And behold, Saul came after the herd out of the field, and Saul said, What aileth the people that they weep? And they told him in the tidings of the men of Jabesh. And the Spirit of God came upon Saul when he heard these tidings, and his anger was kindled greatly. And he took a yoke of oxen, and hewed them in pieces, and sent them throughout all the coasts of Israel by the hands of the messengers, saying, Whosoever cometh not forth after Saul and after Samuel, so shall it be done unto his oxen. And the fear of the Lord fell on the people, and they came out with one consent. And when he numbered them in Bezek, the children of Israel were 300,000, and the men of Judah 30,000. And they said unto the messengers that came, Thus shall ye say unto the men of Jabesh Gilead, Tomorrow by that time the sun be hot, ye shall have help. And the messengers came and shewed it to the men of Jabesh, and they were glad. Therefore the men of Jabesh said, Tomorrow we will come out unto you, and ye shall do with us all that seemeth good unto you. And it was so on the morrow, that Saul put the people in 3 companies, and they came into the midst of the host in the morning watch, and slew the Ammonites until the heat of the day. And it came to pass that they which remained were scattered, so that 2 of them were not left to gather. And the people said unto Samuel, Who was he that said, Shall Saul reign over us? Bring the men, that we may put them to death. And Saul said, There shall not a man be put to death this day, for today the Lord hath wrought salvation in Israel. Then said Samuel to the people, Come, and let us go to Gilgal, and renew the kingdom there. And all the people went to Gilgal, and there they made Saul king before the Lord in Gilgal. And there they sacrificed sacrifices of peace offerings before the Lord. And there Saul and all the men of Israel rejoiced greatly. Chapter 12. And Samuel said unto all Israel, Behold, I have hearkened unto your voice in all that ye said unto me, and have made a king over you. And now, behold, the king walketh before you, and I am old and grey-headed, and behold, my sons are with you, and I have walked before you from my childhood unto this day. Behold, here I am, witness against me before the Lord, and before his anointed, whose ox have I taken? Or whose ass have I taken? Or whom have I defrauded? Whom have I oppressed? Or of whose hand have I received any bribe to blind mine eyes therewith? And I will restore it to you. They said, Thou hast not defrauded us, nor oppressed us, neither hast thou taken aught of any man's hand. And he said unto them, The Lord is witness against you, and his anointed is witness this day, and that ye have not found aught in my hand. And they answered, He is witness. And Samuel said unto the people, It is the Lord that advanced Moses and Aaron, and that brought your fathers up out of the land of Egypt. Now therefore stand still, and that I may reason with you before the Lord of all the righteous acts of the Lord, which he did to you and to your fathers, when Jacob was come into Egypt, and your fathers cried unto the Lord, when the Lord sent Moses and Aaron, which brought forth your fathers out of Egypt, and made them dwell in this place. And when they forgat the Lord their God, he sold them into the hand of Sisera, captain of the host of Hazor, and into the hand of Philistines, and into the hand of the king of Moab. And they fought against them, and they cried unto the Lord, and said, We have sinned, because we have forsaken the Lord, and have served Baalim and Ashtaroth. But now deliver us out of the hand of our enemies, and we will serve thee. And the Lord sent Jerubbaal, and Bedan, and Jephthah, and Samuel, and delivered you unto the hand of your enemies on every side, and ye dwelled safe. And when ye saw that Nahash, the king of the children of Ammon, came against you, ye said unto me, Nay, but a king shall reign over us, when the Lord your God was your king. Now therefore behind the king whom ye have chosen, and whom ye have desired, and behold, the Lord hath set a king over you. If ye will fear the Lord, and serve him, and obey his voice, and not rebel against the commandment of the Lord, then shall both ye and also the king that reigneth over you continue following the Lord your God. But if ye will not obey the voice of the Lord, but rebel against the commandment of the Lord, then shall the hand of the Lord be against you, as it was against your fathers. Now therefore stand and see this great thing, which the Lord will do before your eyes. Is it not what wheat harvest today? I will call unto the Lord, and he shall send thunder and rain, that ye may perceive and see that your wickedness is great, which ye have done in the sight of the Lord, in asking you a king. So Samuel called unto the Lord, and the Lord sent thunder and rain that day, and all the people greatly feared the Lord and Samuel. And all the people said unto Samuel, Pray for thy servants unto the Lord thy God, that we die not, for that we have added unto all our sins this evil, to ask us a king. And Samuel said unto the people, Fear not, ye have done all this wickedness, yet turn not aside from following the Lord, but serve the Lord with all your heart. And turn ye not aside from then shall ye go after vain things, which cannot profit nor deliver, for they are vain. For the Lord will not forsake his people for his great name's sake, because it hath pleased the Lord to make you his people. Moreover, as for me, God forbid that I should sin again against the Lord in ceasing to pray for you, but I will teach you the good and the right way. Only fear the Lord, and serve him in truth with all your heart, for consider how great things he hath done for you. But if you shall still do wickedly, you shall be consumed, both ye and your king. Chapter 13. Saul reigned 1 year, and when he had reigned 2 years over Israel, Saul chose him 3,000 men of Israel, whereof 2,000 were with Saul in Michmash and in Mount Bethel, and 1,000 were with Jonathan in Gibeah and Benjamin. And the rest of the people he sent every man to his tent. And Jonathan smote the garrison of the Philistines that was in Geba, and the Philistines heard of it. And Saul blew the trumpet throughout all the land, saying, Let the Hebrews hear. And all Israel heard say that Saul had smitten the garrison of the Philistines, and that Israel also was had in abomination with the Philistines. And the people were called together after Saul in Gilgal, to Gilgal. And the Philistines gathered themselves together to fight with Israel 30,000 chariots and 6,000 horsemen, and people as the sand which is on the sea shore in multitude. And they came up and pitched in Michmash, eastward from Beth Aven. When the men of Israel saw that they were in a strait, for people were distressed, then the people did hide themselves in caves, and in thickets, and in rocks, and in high places, and in pits. And some of the Hebrews went over Jordan to the land of Gad, and Gilead. As for Saul, he was yet in Gilgal, and all the people followed him trembling. And he tarried 7 days according to the set time that Saul had appointed. But Samuel came not to Gilgal, and the people were scattered from him. And Saul said, Bring hither a burnt offering to me, and peace offering, and he offered the burnt offering. And it came to pass that as soon as he had made an end of offering the burnt offering, behold, Samuel came, and Saul went out to meet him, that he might salute him. And Samuel said, What hast thou done? And Saul said, Because I saw that the people were scattered from me, and that thou comest not with the days appointed, and that the Philistines gathered themselves together in Michmash. Therefore said I, The Philistines will come down now upon me into Gilgal, and I have not made supplication unto the Lord. I forced myself therefore, and offered a burnt offering. And Samuel said to Saul, Thou hast done foolishly. Thou hast not kept the commandment of the Lord thy God, which he commanded thee, for not would the Lord have established thy kingdom upon Israel forever. But now thy kingdom shall not continue. The Lord hath sought him a man after his own heart, and the Lord hath commanded him to be captain over his people, because thou hast not kept that which the Lord commanded thee. And Samuel arose and gat him up from Gilgal unto Gibeah, and Benjamin, and Saul numbered the people that were present with him, about 600 men. And Saul and Jonathan his son, and the people that were present with them abode in Gibeah of Benjamin, but the Philistines encamped in Michmash. And the spoilers came out of the camp of the Philistines in 3 companies. 1 company turned unto the way that leadeth to Ophrah, unto the land of Shoal. And another company turned the way to Beth Horon. And another company turned to the way of the border that looketh to the valley of Zeboim, toward the wilderness. Now there was no smith found throughout all the land of Israel. For the Philistines said, Lest the Hebrews make them sword or spears. But all the Israelites went down to the Philistines, to sharpen every man his share, and his coulter, and his axe, and his mattock. Yet they had a file for the mattocks, and for the coulters, and for the forks, and for the axes, and to sharpen the goads. So it came to pass in the day of battle that there was neither sword nor spear found in the hand of any of the people that were with Saul and Jonathan. But with Saul and with Jonathan his son was there found. And the garrison of the Philistines went out of the passage of Michmash. Chapter 14. Now it came to pass upon the day that Jonathan and his son Saul said unto the young man that bare his armor, Come and let us go over the Philistines' garrison, that is on the other side. But he told not his father. And Saul tarried in the uttermost part of Gibeah, under the pomegranate tree which is the Migron, in Migron. And the people that were with him were about 600 men. And Ahiah, the son Ahitub, Ichabod's brother, and the son Phinehas, the son of Eli, the Lord's priest in Shiloh, wearing an ephod. And the people knew not that Jonathan was gone. And between the passages by which Jonathan sought to go over unto the Philistines' garrison, there was a sharp rock on the one side, and a sharp rock on the other side. And the name of the one was Bozez, and the name of the other Senech. The forefront of the one was situate northward, over against Michmash, and the other southward, over against Gibeah. And Jonathan said to the young man and bare his armor, Come and let us go over unto the garrison of these uncircumcised. It may be that the Lord will work for us, for there is no restraint to the Lord to save by many or by few. And his armor bearer said unto him, Do all that is in thine heart. Turn thee, behold, I am with thee according to thy heart. Then said Jonathan, Behold, we will pass over unto these men, and we will discover ourselves unto them. If they say thus unto us, Tarry until we come to you, then we will stand still in our place, and will not go up unto them. But if they say thus, Come up unto us, then we will go up, for the Lord hath delivered them into our hands, and this shall be a sign to us. And both of them discovered themselves under the garrison of the Philistines, and the Philistines said, Behold, the Hebrews come forth out of the holes where they had hid themselves. And the men of the garrison answered Jonathan and his armor bearer, and said, Come up to us, and we will shew you a thing. And Jonathan said unto his armor bearer, Come up after me, for the Lord hath delivered them into the hand of Israel. And Jonathan climbed up upon his hands and upon his feet, and his armor bearer after him. And they fell before Jonathan, and his armor bearer slew after him. And that first slaughter which Jonathan and his armor bearer made was about 20 men within, as it were, an half acre of land, which a yoke of oxen might plow. And there was trembling in the host of the field, and among all the people of the garrison and the spoilers, they also trembled, and the earth quaked, so it was a very great trembling. And the watchmen of Saul and Gibeah and Benjamin looked, and behold, the multitude melted away, and they went on beating down one another. Then said Saul unto the people that were with him, Number now, and see who is gone from us. And when they had numbered, behold, Jonathan and his armor bearer were not there. And Saul said unto Ahiah, Bring hither the ark of God, for the ark of God was at that time with the children of Israel. And it came to pass, when Saul talked with the priest, that the noise that was in the host of the Philistines went on and increased. And Saul said unto the priest, Withdraw thine hand. And Saul and all the people that were with him assembled themselves, and they came to the battle. And behold, every man's sword was against his fellow, and there was a very great discomfiture. Moreover, the Hebrews that were with the Philistines before the time which went up with them into the camp from the country round about, even they also turned to be with the Israelites that were with Saul and Jonathan. Likewise all the men of Israel which had hid themselves in Mount Ephraim, when they heard that the Philistines fled, even they also followed hard after them in the battle. So the Lord saved Israel that day, and the battle passed over unto Bethaven. And the men of Israel were distressed that day, for Saul had adjured the people, saying, Cursed be the man that eateth any food until evening, that I may be avenged on mine enemies. So none of the people tasted any food. And all they of the land came to a wood, and there was honey upon the ground. And when the people were come unto the wood, behold, the honey dropped. But no man put his hand to his mouth, for the people feared the oath. But Jonathan heard not what his father charged the people with the oath. Wherefore he put forth the end of the rod that was in his hand, and dipped it into the honeycomb, and put his hand in his mouth. And his eyes were enlightened. Then answered one of the people, and said, Thy father straitly charged the people with an oath, saying, Cursed be the man that eateth any food this day. And the people were faint. Then said Jonathan, My father hath troubled the land. See, I pray you, how mine eyes have been enlightened, because I tasted a little of this honey. How much more if happily the people had eaten freely today of the spoil of their enemies which they found. For had there not been now a much greater slaughter among the Philistines? And they smite the Philistines that day from Michmash to Aijalon. And the people were very faint, and the people flew upon the spoil, and took sheep, and oxen, and calves, and slew them on the ground, and the people did eat them with the blood. Then they told Saul, saying, Behold, the people will sin against the Lord, is that they eat with the blood. And he said, Ye have transgressed, roll a great stone unto me this day. And Saul said, Disperse yourselves among the people, and say unto them, Bring me hither every man his ox, and every man his sheep, and slay them here, and eat, and sin not against the Lord, in eating with the blood. And all the people brought every man his ox with him that night, and slew them there. And Saul built an altar unto the Lord. The same was the first altar that he built unto the Lord. And Saul said, Let us go down after the Philistines by night, and spoil them until the morning light, and let us not leave a man of them. And they said, Do whatsoever seemeth good unto thee. Then said the priest, Let us draw near hither unto God. And Saul asked the counsel of God, Shall I go down after the Philistines? Wilt thou deliver them unto the hand of Israel? But he answered him not that day. And Saul said, Draw ye near hither, all the chief of the people, and know and see wherein this sin hath been this day. For as the Lord liveth, which saveth Israel, though it be in Jonathan my son, he shall surely die. But there was not a man among all the people that answered him. Then said he unto all Israel, Be ye on one side, and I and Jonathan my son will be on the other side. And the people said unto Saul, Do what seemeth good unto thee. Therefore Saul said unto the people, Lord God of Israel, Give a perfect lot. And Saul and Jonathan were taken, but the people escaped. And Saul said, Cast lots between me and Jonathan my son. And Jonathan was taken. Then Saul said to Jonathan, Tell me what thou hast done. Jonathan told him, and said, I did but taste a little honey with the end of the rod that was in mine hand, and lo, I must die. And Saul answered, God do so and more also, for thou shalt surely die, Jonathan. And the people said unto Saul, Shall Jonathan die, who hath wrought this great salvation in Israel? God forbid, as the Lord liveth, there shall not one hair of his head fall to the ground, for he hath wrought with God this day. So the people rescued Jonathan, that he died not. Then Saul went up from following the Philistines, and the Philistines went to their own place. So Saul took the kingdom over Israel, and fought against all his enemies in every side, against Moab, and against the children of Ammon, and against Edom, and against the kingdoms of Zobah, and against the Philistines, and whithersoever he turned himself, he vexed them. And he gathered a host, and smote the Amalekites, and delivered Israel out of the hands of them that spoiled them. Now the sons of Saul were Jonathan, and Ishui, and Melchishua, and the names of his two daughters were these: the name of the firstborn Merab, and the name of the younger Michal. And the name of Saul's wife was Ahinoam, the daughter of Ahimaaz. And the name of the captain of his host was Abner, the son of Ner, Saul's uncle. And Kish was the father of Saul, and Ner, the father of Abner, was the son of Abiel. And there was sore war against the Philistines all the days of Saul. And when Saul saw any strong man or any valiant man, he took him unto him. Chapter 15. Samuel also said unto Saul, The Lord sent me to anoint thee to be king over his people, over Israel. Now therefore hearken thou unto the voice of the Lord of the Lord. Hearken thou unto the voice of the words of the Lord. Thus said the Lord of hosts, I remember that which Amalek did to Israel, how he laid wait for him in the way, when he came up from Egypt. Now go and smite Amalek, and utterly destroy all that they have, and spare them not, but slay both man and woman, infant and suckling, ox and sheep, camel and ass. And Saul gathered the people together, and numbered them in Telaim, 200,000 footmen, and 2,000 men of Judah. And Saul came to the city of Amalek, and laid wait in the valley. And Saul said unto the Kenites, Go, depart, get you down from among the Amalekites, lest I destroy you with him. For ye shewed a kindness to all the children of Israel when they came up out of Egypt. So the Kenites departed from among the Amalekites. And Saul smote the Amalekites from the Havilah until thou comest to Shur, that is over against Egypt. And he took Agag, and the king of the Amalekites, alive, and utterly destroyed all the people with the edge of the sword. But Saul and the people spared Agag, and the best of the sheep, and of the oxen, and of the fatlings, and the lambs, and all that was good, and would not utterly destroy them. But everything that was vile and refuse, that they destroy utterly. Then came the word of the Lord unto Samuel, saying, It repenteth me that I have sent up Saul to be king, for he is turned back from following me, and hath not performed any commandments, and it grieved Samuel. And he cried unto the Lord all night. And when Samuel rose early to meet Saul in the morning, it was told Samuel, saying, Saul came to Carmel, and behold, he set up a place, and is gone about, and passed on, and gone down to Gilgal. And Samuel came to Saul, and Saul said unto him, Blessed be thou of the Lord, I have performed the commandment of the Lord. And Samuel said, What meaneth then this bleating of the sheep in mine ears, and the lowing of the oxen which I hear? And Saul said, They have brought them from the Amalekites, for the people spared the best of the sheep and of the oxen, to sacrifice unto the Lord thy God, and the rest we have utterly destroyed. Then Samuel said unto Saul, Stay, I will tell thee that the Lord hath said to me this night. And he said unto him, Say on. And Samuel said, When thou wast little in thine own sight, wast thou not made the head of the tribes of Israel? And the Lord anointed thee king over Israel. The Lord sent thee on a journey, and said, Go and utterly destroy the sinners, the Amalekites, and fight against them until they be consumed. Wherefore then didst thou not obey the voice of the Lord, but didst fly open the spoil, and didst evil in the sight of the Lord? And Saul said unto Samuel, Yea, I have obeyed the voice of the Lord, and have gone the way which the Lord sent me, and have brought Agag the king of Amalek, and have utterly destroyed the Amalekites. And the people took of the spoil, sheep and oxen, the chief of the things which should have been utterly destroyed, to sacrifice unto the Lord thy God in Gilgal. And Samuel said, Had the Lord as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of the Lord? Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. Because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, he hath also rejected thee from being king. And Saul said unto Samuel, I have sinned, for I have transgressed the commandment of the Lord, and thy words, because I feared the people and obeyed their voice. Now therefore I pray thee, pardon my sin, and turn against me with me, that I may worship the Lord. And Samuel said unto Saul, I will not return with thee, for thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, and the Lord hath rejected thee from being king over Israel. And as Samuel turned about to go away, he laid hold upon the skirt of his mantle, and it rent. And Samuel said unto him, The Lord hath rent the kingdom of Israel from thee this day, and hath given it a neighbor of thine. This is better than thou. And also the strength of Israel will not lie nor repent, for he is not a man that he should be repent. Then he said, I have sinned, yet honor me now, I pray thee, before the elders of my people, and before Israel, and turn again with me, that I may worship the Lord thy God, So Samuel turned again after Saul, and Saul worshipped the Lord. Then said Samuel, Bring ye hither to me Agag, the king of the Amalekites. And Agag came unto him delicately. And Agag said, Surely the bitterness of death is past. And Samuel said, As thy sword hath made women children childless, so shall thy mother be childless among women. And Samuel hewed Agag in pieces before the Lord in Gilgal. Then Samuel went to Ramah, and Saul went up to his house to Gibeah of Saul. And Samuel came no more to see Saul until the day of his death. Nevertheless, Samuel mourned for Saul, and the Lord repented that he had made Saul king over Israel. Okay, that's the first 5 chapters. Let me grab a drink. Wherever it is. There it is. Whoa. Let me check if the wire is nearby. Or if it wasn't even shipped yet. Nope, not even shipped. Arriving today by 10 p.m. Okay, let me get a message across. You know what? I'll do it after. Ow. It's a bit noisy. I have to deal with what I got until the wire for this good mic comes in. This perfect metallic mic. Okay. Let me double check how long this is. Wait. Chapter 19. Chapter 20. It's kind of long. Okay, let's read. First Samuel, chapter 16. And the Lord said unto Samuel, How long wilt thou mourn for Saul, seeing I have rejected him for reigning over Israel? Fill thine horn with oil and go. I will send thee to Jesse the Bethlehemite, for I have provided me a king among his sons. And Samuel said, How can I go? If Saul hear it, he will kill me. And the Lord said, Take a heifer with thee, and say, I am come to sacrifice to the Lord. And call Jesse to the sacrifice. And I will shew thee that what thou shalt do, and thou shalt anoint unto me him whom I name unto thee. And Samuel did that which the Lord spake, and came to Bethlehem. And the elders of the town trembled at his coming, and said, Comest thou peaceably? Comest thou peaceably? And he said, Peaceably. And come to sacrifice unto the Lord, sanctify yourselves, and come with me to the sacrifice. And he sanctified Jesse and his son, and called them to the sacrifice. And it came to pass, when they were come, that he looked to Eliab, and said, Surely the Lord's anointed is before him. And the Lord said unto the Samuel, Look not on his countenance, or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For the Lord seeth not as man seeth, for man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the heart. Then Jesse called Abinadab, and made his pass before Samuel. And he said, Neither hath the Lord chosen this. Then Jesse made Shammah to pass by, and he said, Neither hath the Lord chosen this. And Jesse made 7 of his sons to pass before Samuel. And Samuel said unto Jesse, The Lord hath not chosen these. Samuel said unto Jesse, Are here all thy children? And he said, There remaineth yet the youngest, and behold, he keepeth the sheep. And Samuel said unto Jesse, Send and fetch him, for we will not sit down till he comes hither. And he sent and brought him in. Now he was ruddy, and withal of a beautiful countenance, and goodly to look to. And the Lord said, Arise, anoint him, for this is he. Then Samuel took the horn of oil, and anointed him in the midst of his brethren. And the Spirit of the Lord come upon David from the day forward. So Samuel rose up and went to Ramah. But the Spirit of the Lord departed from Saul, and an evil spirit from the Lord troubled him. And Saul's servants said unto him, Behold now, an evil spirit from God troubleth thee. Let our Lord now command thy servants, which are before thee, to seek out a man who is a cunning player on a harp, and it shall come to pass when the evil spirit from God is upon thee, that he shall play with his hand, and thou shalt be well. And Saul said unto the servants, Provide me now a man that can play well, and bring him to me. Then answered one of the servants and said, Behold, I have seen a son of Jesse, the Bethlehemite, that is cunning in playing, and a mighty valiant man, a man of war, and a prudent in matters, and a comely person, and the Lord is with him. Wherefore Saul sent messengers unto Jesse, and said, Send me David thy son, which is with the sheep. And Jesse took an ass laden with bread, and a bottle of wine, and a kid, and sent them by David his son unto Saul. And David came to Saul, and stood before him, and he loved him greatly, and he became his armor-bearer. And Saul sent to Jesse, saying, Let David, I pray thee, stand before me, for he hath found favor in my sight. And it came to pass that when the evil spirit from God was upon Saul, that David took a harp and played with his hand. So Saul was refreshed and was well, and the evil spirit departed from him. Chapter 17. Now the Philistines gathered together their armies to battle, and were gathered together at Shakach, which belonged to Judah, and pitched between Shakach and Azekach in Ephes Damim. And Saul and the men of Israel were gathered together and pitched by the valley of Elach, and set the battle in array against the Philistines. And the Philistines stood on the mountain on one side, and Israel stood on a mountain on the other side, and there was a valley between them. And there went out a champion out of the camp of the Philistines, named Goliath, of Gath, whose height was 6 cubits and a span. And he had an helmet of brass upon his head, and he was armed with a coat of mail. And the weight of the coat was 5,000 shekels of brass. And he had greaves of brass upon his legs, and a target of brass between his shoulders. And the staff of a spear was like a weaver's beam, and a spear's head weighed 600 shekels of iron. And one bearing a shield went before him, and he stood and cried unto the armies of Israel, and said unto them, Why are ye come out to set your battle in array? Am I not I a Philistine, and ye servants of Saul? Choose ye a man for you, and let him come down to me. If he be able to fight with me and to kill me, then will we be your servants. But if I prevail against him and kill him, then shall ye be our servants, and serve us. And the Philistines said, I defy the armies of Israel this day. Give me a man, that we might fight together. When Saul and all Israel heard these words of the Philistine, they were dismayed and greatly afraid. Now David was the son of the Ephrathite of Bethlehem, Judah, whose name was Jesse. And he had 8 sons, and the man went among men for an old man in the days of Saul. And the 3 eldest sons of Jesse went and followed Saul to the battle. And the names of his 3 sons that went to the battle were Eliab, the firstborn, and next unto him Abinadab, and the third Shammah. And David was the youngest, and the 3 eldest followed Saul. But David went and returned from Saul to feed his father's sheep in Bethlehem. And the Philistine drew near morning and evening, and presented himself 40 days. And Jesse said unto David his son, Take now for thy brethren an ephah of this parched corn, and these 10 loaves, and run to the camp to thy brethren, and carry these 10 cheeses unto the captain of their 1,000, and look how thy brethren fare, and take their pledge. Now Saul and they and all the men of Israel were in the valley of Eliach, fighting with the Philistines. And David rose up early in the morning, and left the sheep with the keeper, and took and went as Jesse had commanded him. And he came to the trench as the host was going forth to the fight, and shouted for the battle. For Israel and the Philistines had put the battle in array, army against army. And David left his carriage in the hand of the keeper of the carriage, and ran into the army, and came and saluted his brethren. And as he talked with them, behold, there came up the champion, the Philistine of Gath, Goliath by name, out of the armies of the Philistines, and spake according to the same words. And David heard them. And all the men of Israel, when they saw the man, fled from him, and were sore afraid. And the men of Israel said, Have ye seen this man that has come up? Surely to defy Israel is he come up. And it shall be that the man who killeth him, the king will enrich him with great riches, and will give him his daughter, and make his father's house free in Israel. And David spake to the men that stood by him, saying, What shall be done to the man that killeth this Philistine, and taketh away the reproach from Israel? For who is this uncircumcised Philistine, that he should defy the armies of the living God? And the people answered him after the manner, saying, So shall it be done to the man that killeth him. And Eliab his eldest brother heard that he spake unto the men, and Eliab's anger was kindled against David. And he said, Why comest thou down hither? And with whom hast thou left those few sheep in the wilderness? I knew thy pride and thy naughtiness of thine heart, for thou art come down that thou mightst see the battle. And David said, What have I now done? Is there not a cause? He turned from him toward another, and spake after the same manner. And the people answered him again after the former manner. And when the words were heard which David spake, they rehearsed them before Saul, and he sent for him. And David said to Saul, Let no man's heart fail because of him. Thy servant will go and fight with this Philistine. And Saul said to David, Thou art not able to go against this Philistine to fight with him, for thou art but a youth, and he a man of war from his youth. And David said unto Saul, Thy servant kept his father's sheep. And there came a lion, and a bear, and took a lamb out of the flock. And I went out after him, and smote him, and delivered it out of his mouth. And when he arose against me, I caught him by his beard, and smote him, and slew him. Thy servant slew both the lion and the bear, and this uncircumcised Philistine shall be as one of them, seeing he hath defied the armies of the living God. David said moreover, The Lord that delivered me out of the paw of the lion, and out of the paw of the bear, he will deliver me out of the hand of this Philistine. And Saul said unto David, Go, and the Lord be with thee. And Saul armed David with his armor, and he put a helmet of brass upon his head. Also he armed him with a coat of mail. And David girded his sword upon his armor, and he essayed to go, for he had not proved it. And David said unto Saul, I cannot go with these, for I have not proved them. And David put them off him. And he took his staff in his hand, and chose him 5 smooth stones out of the brook, and put them in a shepherd's bag, which he had, even in a scrip. And a sling was in his hand, and he drew near to the Philistine. And the Philistine came on, and drew near unto David, and the man that bare the shield went before him. And when the Philistine looked about and saw David, he disdained him, for he was but a youth, and ruddy, and of a fair countenance. And the Philistine said unto David, Am I a dog, that thou comest to me with staves? And the Philistine cursed David by his gods. And the Philistine said to David, Come to me, and I will give thy flesh unto the fowls of the air, and to the beasts of the fields. Then said David to the Philistine, Thou comest to me with a sword, and with a spear, and with a shield, but I come to thee in the name of the Lord of hosts, the God of the armies of Israel, whom thou hast defied. This day will the Lord deliver thee into mine hand, and I will smite thee, and take thine head from thee, and I will give the carcasses of the host of the Philistines this day unto the fowls of the air, and to the wild beasts of the earth, that all the earth may know that there is a God in Israel. And all this assembly shall know that the Lord saveth not with sword and spear, for the battle is the Lord's, and he will give you unto our hands. And it came to pass, when the Philistines arose, and came and drew nigh to meet David, that David hasted and ran toward the army to meet the Philistine. And David put his hand on his bag, and took thence a stone, and slang it, and smote the Philistine in his forehead. But the stone sunk into his forehead, and he fell upon his face to the earth. So David prevailed over the Philistine with a sling, and with a stone, and smote the Philistine, and slew him. But there was no sword in the hand of David. Therefore David ran and stood upon the Philistine, and took his sword, and drew it out of the sheath thereof, and slew him, and cut off his head therewith. And when the Philistines saw their champion was dead, they fled. And the men of Israel and of Judah rose and shouted, and pursued the Philistines, until thou come to the valley and to the gates of Ekron. And the wounded of the Philistines will down by the way to Sharaim, even unto Gath and unto Ekron. And the children of Israel returned from chasing after the Philistines, and they spoiled their tents. And David took the head of the Philistine and brought it to Jerusalem, but he put his armor in his tent. When Saul saw David go forth toward the Philistines, forth against the Philistine, he said unto Abner, the captain of the host, Abner, whose son is this youth. And Abner said, As thy soul liveth, O king, I cannot tell. And the king said, Inquire thou whose son this stripling is. And as David returned from the slaughter of the Philistine, Abner took him and brought him before Saul, with the head of the Philistine in his hand. And Saul said to him, Whose son art thou, thou young man? And David answered, I am the son of thy servant Jesse, the Bethlehemite. Chapter 18. And it came to pass, when he had made an end of speaking unto Saul, that the soul of Jonathan was knit with the soul of David, and Jonathan loved him as his own soul. And Saul took him that day, and would let him go no more home to his father's house. Then Jonathan and David made a covenant, because he loved him as his own soul. And Jonathan stripped himself of the robe that was upon him, and gave it to David and his garments, even to his sword, and to his bow, and to his girdle. And David went out whithersoever Saul sent him, and behaved himself wisely. And Saul set him over the men of war, and he was accepted into the sight of all the people, and also in the sight of Saul's servants. And it came to pass, as they came when David was returned from the slaughter of the Philistine, that the women came out of the cities of Israel, singing and dancing, to meet King Saul, with tabrets, with joy, and with instruments of music. And the women answered one another as they played, and said, Saul hath slain his thousands, and David his 10,000s. And Saul was very wroth, and the saying displeased him. And he said that they have ascribed unto David 10,000s, and to me they have ascribed but thousands. And what can he have more but the kingdom? And Saul eyed David from that day and forward. And it came to pass on the morrow that the evil spirit from God came upon Saul, and he prophesied in the midst of the house. And David played with his hand, as at other times, and there was a javelin in Saul's hand. Saul cast the javelin, for he said, I will smite David, even to the wall with it. And David avoided out of his presence twice. And Saul was afraid of David, because the Lord was with him, and was departed from Saul. Therefore Saul removed him from him, and made him his captain over 1,000, and he went out and came in before the people. And David behaved himself wisely in all this day, on all his ways, and the Lord was with him. Wherefore, when Saul saw that he behaved himself very wisely, he was afraid of him. But all Israel and Judah loved David, because he went out and came in before them. And Saul said to David, Behold my elder daughter Merab, her will I give thee to wife. Only be thou valiant for me, and fight the Lord's battles. For Saul said, Let not mine hand be upon him, for let the hand of thy Philistines be upon him. And David said unto Saul, Who am I, and what is my life, or my father's family in Israel, that I should be son-in-law to the king? But it came to pass at the time when Merab, Saul's daughter, should have been given to David, that she was given unto Adriel, the Mechalachite, to wife. And Michal, Saul's daughter, loved David. And they told Saul, and the thing pleased him. And Saul said, I will give him her, that she may be a snare to him, and that the hand of the Philistines may be against them. Wherefore Saul said to David, Thou shalt this day be my son-in-law in the one of the twain. And Saul commanded his servants, saying, Commune with David secretly, and say, Behold, the king hath delight in thee, and all his servants love thee. Now therefore be the king's son-in-law. And Saul's servants spake these words in the ears of David, and David said, Seemeth it to you a light thing to be a king's son-in-law, seeing that I am a poor man, and lightly esteemed? And the servants of Saul told him, saying, On this manner spake David. And Saul said, Thus shall ye say to David, The king desireth not any dowry, but 100 foreskins of the Philistines, to be avenged of the king's enemies. But Saul thought to make David fall by the hand of the Philistines. And when his servants told David these words, it pleased David well to be the king's son-in-law, and the days were not expired. Wherefore David arose and went, he and his men, and slew of the Philistines 200 men. And David brought their foreskins, and they gave them in full tale to the king, that he might be the king's son-in-law. And Saul gave him Michal, his daughter, to wife. And Saul saw and knew that the Lord was with David, and that Michal's Saul's daughter loved him. And Saul was yet the more afraid of David, and Saul became David's enemy continually. Then the princes of the Philistines went forth, and it came to pass after they went forth, that David behaved himself more wisely than all the servants of Saul, so that his name was much set by. Chapter 19. And Saul spake to Jonathan his son, and to all his servants, and that they should kill David. But Jonathan, Saul's son, delighted much to David, and Jonathan told David, saying, Saul my father seeketh to kill thee. Now therefore I pray thee, take heed to thyself unto the morning, and abide in a secret place, and hide thyself. And I will go out and stand beside my father in the field where thou art, and I will commune with my father of thee, and what I see, that I will tell thee. And Jonathan spake good of David unto Saul his father, and said unto him, Let not the king sin against the servant, against David, because he hath not sinned against thee, and because his works have been to thee word very good. For he did put his life in his hand, and slew the Philistine, and the Lord wrought a great salvation for all Israel. Thou sawest it, and didst rejoice. Therefore then wilt thou sin against innocent blood, to slay David without a cause? And Saul hearkened unto the voice of Jonathan, and Saul sware, As the Lord liveth, he shall not be slain. And Jonathan called David, and Jonathan shewed him all these things. And Jonathan brought David to Saul, and he was in his presence, as in times past. And there was war again. And David went out and fought with the Philistines, and slew them with a great slaughter, and they fled from him. And the evil spirit from the Lord was upon Saul, as he sat in his house with his javelin in his hand, and David played with his hand. And Saul sought to smite David even to the wall with the javelin, but he slipped away out of Saul's presence, and he smote the javelin into the wall. And David fled, and escaped that night. Saul also sent messengers unto David's house, to watch him, and to slay him in the morning. And Michal David's wife told him, saying, If thou save not thy life tonight, tomorrow thou shalt be slain. So Michal let David down through the window, and he went and fled and escaped. And Michal took an image, and laid it in the bed, and put a pillow of goat's hair for his bolster, and covered it with cloth. And when Saul sent messenger to take David, and she said, He is sick. And Saul sent the messenger again to see David, saying, Bring him up to me in the bed, that I may slay him. And when the messengers were come, and behold, there was an image in the bed, with a pillow of goat's hair for his bolster. And Saul said unto Michal, Why hast thou deceived me so, and sent away mine enemy, that he is escaped? And Michal answered Saul, He said unto me, Let me go, why should I kill thee? So David fled, and escaped, and came to Samuel to Ramah, and told him all that Saul had done to him. And he and Samuel went and dwelt in Naioth. And it was told Saul, saying, Behold, David is at Naioth in Ramah. And Saul sent messengers to take David. And when they saw the company of the prophets prophesying, and Samuel standing as appointing over them, the Spirit of God was upon the messengers of Saul, and they also prophesied. And when it was told Saul, he sent other messengers, and they prophesied likewise. And Saul sent messengers again the third time, and they prophesied also. Then went he also to Ramah, and came to a great well that is in Seku. And he asked and said, Where are Samuel and David? And one said, Behold, they be at Naioth in Ramah. And he went thither to Naioth in Ramah, and the Spirit of God was upon him also. And he went on and prophesied, until he came to Naioth in Ramah. And he stripped off his clothes also, and prophesied before Samuel in like manner, and lay down naked all that day and all that night. Wherefore they say, Is Saul also among the prophets? Chapter 20. And David fled from Naioth in Ramah, and came and said before Jonathan, What have I done? That is mine iniquity. What is mine iniquity? And what is my sin before thy father, that he seeketh my life? And he said unto him, God forbid, thou shalt not die. Behold, my father will not do nothing either great or small, but that he will shew it me. And why should my father hide this thing from me? It is not so. And David sware moreover, and said, Thy father certainly knoweth that I have found grace in thine eyes. And he saith, Let not Jonathan know this, lest he be grieved. But truly as the Lord liveth, and as thy soul liveth, there is but a step between me and death. Then said Jonathan unto David, Whatsoever thy soul desireth, I will even do it for thee. And David said unto Jonathan, Behold, tomorrow is the new moon, and I should not fail to sit with the king at meat. But let me go, that I may hide myself in the field unto the third day at even. If thy father at all miss me, then say, David earnestly asked leave of me, that he might run to Bethlehem, his city, for there is a yearly sacrifice there for all the family. If he say thus, It is well, thy servant shall have peace. But if he be very wroth, then be sure that evil is determined by him. Therefore thou shalt deal kindly with thy servant, for thou hast brought thy servant into a covenant of the Lord with thee. Notwithstanding, if there be in my iniquity, slay me thyself. For why shouldest thou bring me to thy father? And Jonathan said, Far be it from thee, for I knew certainly that evil were determined by my father to come upon thee. Then would not I tell it thee? Then said David to Jonathan, Whom shall tell me? Or what if thy father answered thee roughly? And Jonathan said unto David, Come, and let us go out of the field. And they went out, both of them, unto the field. And Jonathan said unto David, O Lord God of Israel, when have I sounded my father about my tomorrow any time? When have I sounded my father about tomorrow, any time, or the third day? And behold, if there be good toward David, I then send not unto thee, and shew it thee. The Lord do so, and much more to Jonathan. But if it please my father to do thee evil, then I will shew it thee, and send thee away, that thou mayest go in peace, and the Lord be with thee, as he hath been with my father. And thou shalt not only while yet I live, shew me the kindness of the Lord, that I die not. But also thou shalt not cut off thy kindness from my house forever. No, not when the Lord hath cut off the enemies of David, every one of them from the face of the earth. So Jonathan made a covenant with the house of David, saying, Let the Lord even require it at the hand of David's enemies. And Jonathan caused David to swear again, because he loved him, for he loved him as he loved his own soul. Then Jonathan said to David, Tomorrow is the new moon, and thou shalt be missed, because thy seat will be empty. And when thou hast stayed 3 days, then thou shalt go down quickly, and come to the place where thou didst hide thyself when the business was in hand, and shalt remain by the stone Ezel. And I will shoot three arrows on the side thereof, as though I shot at a mark. And behold, I will send a lad, saying, Go find out the arrows. If I expressly say unto the lad, Behold, the arrows are in this side of thee, take them. Then come thou, for there is peace to thee, and no hurt, as the Lord liveth. But if I say thus unto the young man, Behold, the arrows are beyond thee, go thy way, for the Lord hath sent thee away. And as touching the matter which thou and I have spoken of, behold, the Lord be between thee and me forever. So David hid himself in the field, and when the new moon was come, the king sat him down to eat meat. And the king sat upon his seat, as at other times, even upon the seat by the wall. And Jonathan arose, and Abner sat by Saul's side, and David's place was empty. Nevertheless, Saul spake not anything that day, for he thought, Something hath befallen him. He is not clean. Surely he is not clean. And it came to pass on the morrow, which was the 2nd day of the month, that David's place was empty. And Saul said unto Jonathan, his son, Wherefore cometh not the son of Jesse to meat? Neither yesterday nor today. And Jonathan answered Saul, David earnestly asked leave of me to go to Bethlehem. And he said, Let me go, I pray thee, for our family hath a sacrifice in the city, and my brother he hath commanded me to be there. And now if I have found favor in thine eyes, let me go get away, I pray thee, and see my brethren. Therefore he cometh not unto the king's table. Then Saul's anger was kindled against Jonathan, and he said unto him, Thou son of the perverse rebellious woman, do not I know that thou hast chosen the son of Jesse to thine own confusion, and unto the confusion of thy mother's nakedness? For as long as the son of Jesse liveth upon the ground, thou shalt not be established, nor thy kingdom. Wherefore now send and fetch him unto me, for he shall surely die. And Jonathan answered Saul his father, and said unto him, Wherefore shall he be slain? What hath he done? And Saul cast a javelin at him to smite him, whereby Jonathan knew that it was determined of his father to slay David. So Jonathan arose from the table in fierce anger, and did eat no meat the 2nd day of the month, for he was grieved for David, because his father had done him shame. And it came to pass in the morning that Jonathan went out into the field at the time appointed with David, and the little lad with him. And he said unto his lad, Run, find out how now the arrows which I shoot. And as the lad ran, he shot an arrow beyond him. When the lad was come to the place of the arrow which Jonathan had shot, Jonathan cried after the lad, and said, Is not the arrow beyond thee? And Jonathan cried after the lad, Make speed, haste, stay not. And Jonathan's lad gathered up the arrows and came to his master. But the lad knew not anything. Only Jonathan and David knew the matter. And Jonathan gave his artillery unto his lad, and said unto him, Go carry them to the city. And as soon as the lad was gone, David arose out of a place toward the south, and fell on his face to the ground, and bowed himself 3 times. And they kissed one another, and wept one with another, until David exceeded. And Jonathan said to David, Go in peace, for as much as we have sworn both of us in the name of the Lord, saying, The Lord be between me and thee, and between my seed and thy seed forever. And he arose and departed, and Jonathan went into the city. That's it for today. Interesting. Next several chapters aren't too long, per se. Kind of long, but not too long. 1 Samuel ends in chapter... Oh, hold on. It ends in chapter 31. I think I'm reading until the end of this book next time. So next time I read, I'm going to be reading until finishing this book. Check. Make sure everything's working. Let's see if this works. Check. Check. I want to make sure that the audio works fine. It's gonna echo. It's gonna echo unless I do this, I guess. Hold on. Let me actually make sure that it echoes or not. Check that if it's echoing. I want to make sure that the audio works fine. It's gonna echo. It's gonna echo. Yeah, it definitely is echoing. Okay. It's not coming out of the speaker. I mean, it's not really coming out of the speakers right now. Check. Let me make sure it's not coming out of the speakers at all. And now let's double check what the audio sounds like when it's not coming out of the speakers. Yeah, it definitely is echoing. Okay. It's not coming out of the speakers. I mean, it's not really coming out of speakers right now. Check. Let me make sure. No, it is definitely echoing. Whether I like it or not, it is definitely echoing. And I think it was echoing the entire time I was reading. That sucks. Where's my wire? Come on. Oh, message from Amazon. What? We're sorry for the delay. Now arriving tomorrow. Come on. How do I remove this echo? I guess I'm gonna have to figure out how to remove this echo now, because why? It sounds like as if the speaker's coming back in. Why does it sound like that? Check. Hold on. Maybe I could try this. check. Okay. Let me check the instructions. Oh, you can plug in one of those microphones. I don't think I have one of those either. So this is for a headset. Oh, okay. I can't just plug in a microphone into there. I feel like I should demand money back. The fact that they're saying it's coming in tomorrow. Why is there an echo? Come on. Why can't I figure this out? Check. 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 Where is this echo coming from? Check. Check. Where is this echo coming from? Check, check. 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 Was it the noise filter? Check, check, check. Where is it coming from? Check, check, check. Check, check, check. Check, check, check. Check, check, check. Check, check. Noise suppression? Is it the noise suppressor that creates this? Is it the noise suppression? Because it looks like it's the noise suppressor that's creating the echo. Check. Okay. I want to try to not talk too much. Would this change anything? What if I did just straight up? Check. 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 This. Check. 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 Sounds horrible. Check. Check. Okay, that sounds a bit better. As I remove the noise suppression. So it might be that when I'm going through the voice meter, it's just getting captured weirdly. Here, let me kick this up a notch. Make sure I can hear everything. Make sure everything is set up. Ooh, why is it... Sorry. So how's this? This is with the noise suppressor. It still kind of sounds like there's an echo. I mean, at the very least, the sound sounds horrible. What about this? No. This? Ah. What about this? What does this do? I do not know. Noise gate? No, remove that noise gate. I guess I'll stick with this for now. It still sounds like I'm in a giant room. Here, let me double check. Chest test, test, test. I guess I'll stick with this for now. It still sounds like I'm in a giant room. Here, let me double check. Okay, I think it's fine enough. It's fine enough for me to work with it. Okay. Let's play some Final Fantasy XIV. The microphone is gone from this setup, so I have to return it. Okay. Let's work with what I got, I guess. I don't have much time as well. Knock it up a bit. Come on, I've lost so much time because of this. Ah, my Honkai Star Rail is probably way overboard now. I'm not gonna do too much for this game. Though I do still have to do the tribes. You know what? Let me log into the Honkai Star Rail and at least spend the Trailblazer power. Ugh, where's the wire? Where's the wire? Where's the wire? Where's the wire? Where is it? Where's the wire? Where's the wire? What? Ugh. So upset that I'm forced into having to wait a second day for this wire. Come on. Now we're arriving tomorrow by 10 p.m. We're sorry for the delay. Package delayed in transit. For getting this awesome mic, just this wire, and Amazon is just holding everything up. First they say it's gonna come in tomorrow morning. Now today, in the morning, it didn't come in. Then they say, oh, well, it's gonna come by 10 p.m. tonight. It doesn't come in by 10 p.m. tonight. Now they're like, oh, we're sorry. It's been delayed. It's gonna come in tomorrow by 10 p.m. I could have by now just went to a shop somewhere, like a music shop, and just bought one of these wires. But now I'm expecting this Amazon wire. And then it says, oh, we're gonna come in tomorrow. We're not in a rush. I said this is horrible. The microphone doesn't even pick up what I'm saying. Unless I shout, because I have to shout apparently for the microphone to hear me. Maybe I should do like a 2 streams tonight. Just a prolonged, lengthy evening stream. Do a little bit of the morning stream to the morning right now, because I'm now running out of time. And the wire is not even going to come in. Maybe just do some of the basic dailies. Skip the tribes for now. And then just do the tribes tonight. Although theoretically, these new tribes are good until tomorrow. No, don't sell that. Yeah, play this a little bit tonight. A little bit more tonight. Or, I don't know. Wake up extra early tomorrow morning. But the wire's still not going to be here extra early tomorrow morning. What else do I gotta do? This is like the worst moment for everything to not be working. Actions, ventures, squad, treasure. Cactipot. Free company house. Island. Let's just do the treasure and that's it. Okay. I'm gonna hope maybe to wake up early tomorrow and do this tomorrow. And tonight just do Baldur's Gate. Wait, what am I doing? Mainly because right now I'm too frustrated to try and get a whole bunch of stuff done tonight. There we go. We'll just insert this. I can't stand this microphone. Or this headset. Yeah, let's do Honkai Star Rail. I'll do that before I'll do Genshin. If only OBS worked properly. Can't press it now? Of course, it's a board. I mean, soon it's not gonna really matter. Like, oh, that's all you're gonna say? Huh? Sorry for the delay. Yeah, we're so sorry. Where do you want me to go? Oh, you're done already. I'm not gonna do Echoes of War right now.
浮世一回路
Here I want to do Cavern of Corrosion. And maybe run to the bathroom while I'm doing this. Because I've only got like 30 minutes left.
Touch, kill.
I'll be right back.
超と共に散れスターレイファントム
天使を授けん
ガツンとくるやつでいこう次
陛下に慈悲なし
厄介を避けん償いたまえ亡者再臨
次
泣いてよここへ
超と共に散れスターレイファントム
大丈夫問題はない
ガツンとくるやつでいこう
タッチキル
ガツンとくるやつでいこうふん2倍速ってこんなもん
天使を授けん亡者再臨
次
陛下に慈悲なし
超と共に散れスターレイファントムガツンとくるやつでいこう
泣いてよここへ
次
大丈夫、問題はない。
大事ない陛下に慈悲なし立ち切る
いや
厄介を避けん。亡者再臨。
蝶と共に散れ、スターレイファントム。次
泣いてよここへ。
意識ガツンとくるやつでいこう。
陛下に慈悲なし。
天使を授けん。亡者再臨。
蝶と共に散れ、スターレイファントム。2倍速ってこんなもん。
泣いてよここへ。立ち切る
次ガツンとくるやつでいこう。いや
大事ない
厄介を避けん。亡者再臨。
陛下に慈悲なし。
ガツンとくるやつでいこう。蝶と共に散れ、スターレイファントム。いやガツンとくるやつでいこう。蝶と共に散れ、スターレイファントム。
泣いてよここへ。立ち切る
ガツンとくるやつでいこう。2倍速ってこんなもん。次蝶と共に散れ、スターレイファントム。
亡者再臨。
ガツンとくるやつでいこう。
大丈夫、問題はない。天使を授けん。
陛下に慈悲なし。
いや
厄介を避けん。償いたまえ。
次
泣いてよここへ。立ち切る
亡者再臨。
ガツンとくるやつでいこう。蝶と共に散れ、スターレイファントム。
陛下に慈悲なし。
甘く見たな。
ガツンとくるやつでいこう。2倍速ってこんなもん。
泣いてよここ
甘く見たな。天使を授けん。亡者再臨。
へ。立ち切る
厄介を避けん。
次
陛下に慈悲なし。
いや蝶と共に散れ、スターレイファントム。 こう。
大事な
天使を授けん亡者再臨
立ち切る
甘く見たな。
いや次蝶と共に散れスターレイファントム。
陛下に慈悲なし立ち切る
ガツンとくるやつでいこう。
泣いてよここへ騙す
厄介を避けん
次いや
亡者再臨
蝶と共に散れスターレイファントム。ガツンとくるやつでいこう。
陛下に慈悲なし
2倍速ってこんなもん。
泣いてよここへ立ち切る
甘く見たな。
次
天使を授けん
陛下に慈悲なし
Two more times.
大丈夫もんだけ厄介を避けん亡者再臨
泣いてよここへ立ち切る
いや蝶と共に散れスターレイファントム。いや
陛下に慈悲なし
ガツンとくるやつでいこう。次
泣いてよここへ立ち切る
意識
天使を授けん亡者再臨
蝶と共に散れスターレイファントム。ガツンとくるやつでいこう。2倍速ってこんなもん。
陛下に慈悲なし泣いてよここへ
次
甘く見たな。
いやガツンとくるやつでいこう。
厄介を避けん亡者再臨
立ち切る
蝶と共に散れスターレイファント ガツンとくるやつでいこう。
内定よここへタッチキル
ガツンとくるやつでいこう。次
陛下に慈悲なす
見たな。亡者再臨。
蝶と共に散れスターレイファントム。ガツンとくるやつでいこう。
内定よここへ
次
天使を授けん。償いたまえ。
2倍速ってこんなもん。
陛下に慈悲なしタッチキル
Okay. That's complete. Just doing the dailies. Tomorrow I will likely do the rest of the stuff. Daily mission, daily training, pom-pom passengers, assignments? I am not trying to get her at all. I'm saving for the Ice Queen, I guess you could say. Oh, isn't this new? Okay, let's go visit Pom Pom. Okay. I think that's it. Let's go do Genshin. Genshin. Switch over the audio, make sure everything works. Okay. Just do the dailies. Although I don't have condensed resin to put it into. Fish NATO.
岩山八九
や見切りました。
はじけろ。ああ、やあ。ほい。ご安心を。
逃げ道はありません。
よいしょ。
Try and spend a little bit of this trailblazer power.
見切りました。無我の境地。 裁きの雷
弾けろ。
剣女盤石。
てやったひゅっはっ
I need 3 of these.
しふっ逃げ道はありません。
よいしょ。弾けろ。ほいへいはーはやい
ここより弱滅の時見切りました。ふっふんはっやっご助力を。ふんや
ボンボン爆弾。なんだなんだっただ。
This music makes me think of what's it called? Fire Emblem.
はっさうっふっや
弾けろ。おお。なんだな。ほい。だった
天道ここにあり。
Oh, come on. You better not have split this video in half.
はっ好き。
た見切りました。
弾けろ。なんだな。爆弾持ちすぎたのかな。あれ。よいしょ。ボンボン爆くれ。痛いよ。くれ。もう帰りたい。
天理チョーク。
はっ裁きの雷ひゅっ
on. Gotta find these kids. Hide already. Why would you make a commission where there's just a whole ton of dialogue? If I'm going to be redoing these commissions every week. I don't need to hear all that dialogue. Come on. Where is he? I mean, I was looking for that. How much time is this gonna take? 7 hours? 8 hours? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. That'll be 2 in the morning. A little too short. So let's go do... You know what? Let's go do a fight. That should lower the resin down enough so that I don't have to. That'll be good for tomorrow morning.
見切りました。騒乱のい。
難攻不落。
無我の境地。
はじけろ。
天道万象。剣女盤石。
ご助力を海のちぎりよ。裁き。へいへい。見切りました。稲光、すなわち永遠なり。
岩山八九。
Good enough. I know the video's been cut off for like only like creating a second 10-minute video, but I'm not gonna wait for this. Can't wait for this. Come on. maybe I'll just try and do some work on the house tomorrow. As in, get that wire inside the house.
模様のトカゲを捕まえた。
I'll do that later.
見たことない模様だから見。
This mic sounds horrible.
星とし無事今日星とし
Come on,
星と
go
し
back. Doesn't matter, doesn't matter, doesn't matter. None of this matters. Okay, let's see. Doesn't matter. Come on.
追加料金が必要です。
Everything's broken. Whatever. Go back. That's it. I'm done. I'll be back tonight with Baldur's Gate 3. Bye.